Hello, I'm Belle, welcome back to my channel. Today is Wednesday the 16th of January and yesterday, Tuesday, I weighed in. So I thought I'd let you know how I got on. So firstly, how was my week? Well, it was okay. I really struggle with winter. Like anyone who knows me will know that I am a total summer girl. I used to live in Australia, I used to live in Spain. I find Christmas amazing, but January, February and March are like really tricky times for me. And I'm not good in the dark and the cold, and I always kind of struggle in winter to lose weight. I came back to the new year having had like 5 days off over Christmas where I indulged, and I think that first week in January everybody's like raring to go, you're full of motivation and really excited and kind of keen to get on the plan and get back on track. And to be honest, the first week in Jan it was actually a relief not to be eating total rubbish as I had done for that kind of week over Christmas. But I have to say, this last week, I don't know if it's the cold weather or if it's just getting back into a routine of kind of being back at work, but yeah, I found it quite tricky. Now I did stick to plan all week and I stayed within my sins. There was only one day where I may have gone over by like 1 or 2 sins, and that was my nephew's birthday, and I ate before I went, and I didn't have any of the like main course at all, but I did indulge in a tiny little bit of chocolate cake, but I had plenty of sins left for the day, and if it had taken me over by any sins it would have been like 1 or 2 over on my daily allowance, and I still would have been under for the week. So I worked really hard last week, but I really did have to dig deep. Like every day I had to really just focus on that day, and had to kind of take lots of food to work, like free food and speed food, to kind of make sure that I wasn't tempted by all the kind of flapjack and chocolate and biscuits and everything that we have at work. And I don't know, I just find this time of year like a bit miserable. I don't know if it's just me, but yeah, I find being stuck inside and the cold weather and everything just, yeah, a bit tough. But you know, in summer I'm like absolutely full of beans, but yeah, January, February and March are a bit tricky. And obviously this last few weeks and still now I have been meat free, so I've given up chicken, lamb, beef and pork for January, and I'm still sticking to that. So over the last week I've enjoyed lots of, because I've been really busy as well, I've enjoyed lots of kind of, I would say, sort of convenience and easy to kind of make Slimming World food. So I've had kind of the Linda McCartney red onion and rosemary sausages, I've had kind of roast tomatoes, I've had the corn nuggets, which lovely Natalie Marie Josie mentioned, which are half a cent each. I've just been having them like super easy, like over a bowl of raw spinach with some of that Baxter's slaw that you get in a jar with the beetroots and things, which is really, really nice. So just having the corn nuggets, half a cent each, the raw spinach, so like a corn nugget salad, I guess, in the evening, because it's just super easy to prepare. I love the taste of them, they're low sin, and when you're just in a rush and you get in late and you can't be bothered, like that's been a really great quick meal for me. But just I've just had to kind of eat like easy kind of, yeah, as I say, quick to prepare food. I've had quite a lot of quark, I've had quite a lot of berries, and then I'd challenged myself a couple of things last week. So I said I wanted to switch up my healthy beat, which I did. So this week I've enjoyed Ready Break, I've had Hi-Fi's, I've had All Bran, which I love because you get 50 grams. So that's quite easy to split and use 25 grams over fruit and yogurt or fruit and quark, and then have the other half of your healthy beef for a Hi-Fi. I've had some of the Tesco's raisin wheats, you get 45 grams, and I had them kind of like overnight oats, so I put them in a Kilner jar with sweetened quark and frozen berries, popped the lid on, and yeah, like the berries kind of melt and defrost even, and made the raisin wheats really nice. I have had some baked oats, so yeah, I've definitely switched up my healthy B this week, which has been great. The areas that probably I could have done a little bit better on was I'm still not measuring my healthy A. Like I tend to have things that are kind of portioned, so like Baby Bells or like portions of cheese that are kind of already kind of measured out, like the little bars of cheese that are a particular size that you can have as your healthy A. But where I go wrong on my healthy A is I don't measure my milk. So knowing that I wasn't doing that this week, I've had more black coffee, so that I didn't go over what my allowance would be, and kind of have just given myself sort of like 2 cups of coffee with milk in, knowing that will be like, you know, well within one healthy A portion. But moving forward, I do need to get better at measuring my healthy A. My plan was to get 2 little bottles, write the kind of measurements that you can have for milk on the side of the bottles, and at the beginning of the day kind of put my milk in there and then kind of take it to work with me. I have skim milk for my tea and semi-skim milk for my coffee, but I just haven't had the time this week, so it's still on my to-do list. And I also wanted to drink more water, and I've been okay on that. I probably could have been a bit better. But yeah, I've said before, I'm just rubbish at drinking water in the winter. Summer, no problem at all, but winter, yeah, I just don't drink enough. What I have been doing over the last couple of days though is getting some of the Volvic sugar-free watermelon flavoured water, which is sin-free, and it comes in a massive bottle, and I've been kind of having that on my desk just to kind of try and help me, encourage me to drink more water. But yeah, it's still somewhere I need to work on. But anyway, so that's my week. In terms of what I've enjoyed, as I say, like corn nuggets, the Linda McCartney red onion rosemary sausages. I also made a really nice dip that I showed on my video at the weekend, which was just a can of drained butter beans, some fat-free Greek natural yogurt, some lemon juice, salt, pepper, loads of garlic powder, chilli and smoked paprika, and I just blitzed it with a hand blender, and that made a really nice sin-free kind of hummus. And I've been having that with like raw carrots at work and things, so that's been good. Still enjoying my persimmon fruit, still enjoying my satsumas, so yeah, all been a good week on plan. So I went to group and I was very, very hopeful for a great loss. Just to recap, last week I lost £2.5, the week before I lost £2, and for those of you that don't know, I'm kind of halfway through my journey, and I started Slimming World this time last year. So I went to group expectant of a great loss. Group was absolutely like heaving. I couldn't even get in the car park again, but that's all good. So anyway, went to group and I lost £1. So that takes my loss to date to 2 stone 2 pounds, and I weighed in yesterday at 12 stone 4.5, so £1 off this week. So I have to say, initially I was disappointed, and the reason for that is I think at this time of year it's very easy to see everybody having really massive losses and kind of get caught up in that, and to feel in some way downhearted by like any smaller loss, so £1 or £0.5 or whatever. And yesterday when I weighed, after I weighed, I was really disappointed. I was quite gutted, and it's not that I'm like in any, like, I am so pleased for the people that are losing massive amounts of weight. Like genuinely, I am so pleased for them. But if I'm totally honest, I was a little bit jealous, and I came back yesterday and I tried to record this video quite a few times yesterday, and then I kind of thought about it overnight, and I thought, do you know what, I know I worked really hard this week. I stuck to plan, I absolutely followed it, and as I say, the only thing that I don't do perfectly is measuring my milk, but what I did to change that was that I had black coffee. So I really did stick to plan this week, and if the scales say that I lost £1, I've got to be comfortable with that. You know, there are other weeks where I don't feel like I've done massively well and I have a better loss than I was expecting. So really, I need to kind of take the rough with the smooth and just be confident that I did my very best and not be too tough on myself, because, you know, at the end of the day, I have been doing this for a year, and, you know, I know that I am doing what I can do, and if I lost £1 every week this year, by the end of the year I'd be like 3 stone lighter or something. I would be delighted by that, absolutely delighted. And if somebody else told me that they'd lost £1, I would be patting them on the back and saying well done. but I don't take my own kind of advice and my own praise. I was gutted, and I've really had a word with myself, and kind of I feel now much more kind of realistic about it, and I know that all I can do is my very best each week. I've just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other, follow the plan. I know it works, and it's not like I have felt restricted at all this week. I have eaten absolutely lovely food. I've really enjoyed everything I've had. I've never been hungry. I know that I've put good nourishing food into my body, and you know, if the results say that I've lost £1 a year into my journey, that's fine. Like, I have to be comfortable with that, and I have to, you know, give myself a pat on the back and say, well done, you lost £1. And, you know, if I keep doing that every week, you know, as I say, it would be a great loss by the end of the year. So I think for this year, what I want to do is just carry on being consistent and doing that, putting one foot in front of the other, and not being too hard on myself, and remaining positive throughout this journey, like thick or thin, and yeah, rough and smooth. Like, as long as I know I'm doing my very best, that is all I can do, and the scales will say what they will say. You know, there are a million different reasons that the scales fluctuate from week to week, and next week hopefully I will have a better loss, but if I don't, I don't. I've just got to know that, hands on heart, I've done the best I can. So moving forward, in terms of the week ahead, I'm just going to keep trucking on, knowing that I have faith in the plan, and that next week, fingers crossed, I will have another loss. That's all I can hope for. And yeah, that's it. In terms of the week ahead, I don't have anything that I think will derail me. We did have a little blip yesterday where the microwave broke at work, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to have any hot food, and I had a little wobble, but what I did to overcome that was this morning I made my soup at home, sin-free butternut squash, heated it up in my microwave here, and then when I went to work I put it in a thermos until the new microwave arrived. So now we've got a new microwave, that's not going to be a problem, and that's that. So if I could do one thing better this week, or two things better actually I'd like to do this week, one of them would be trying to move more. So I've talked about this before, but I do sit on my backside all day, and I drive to work, and normally I go out for a couple of or at least one long walk at the weekend, but this last weekend I just didn't do that. So I'd like to get out for a good walk this weekend, and I've also put my wellies in the boot of my car because I work in such a beautiful area, and normally I just kind of work through lunch, or I don't really like do any sort of activity at lunch or anything like that. So hopefully like a couple of days a week I can chuck my wellies on and go out for a little bit of a walk at lunchtime, so as long as the weather's all right. But as my sister says, like, when it's raining, you can still go out for a walk. You are not a sugar lump. You will not melt. You can still go out for a walk in the rain. So, you know, week ahead, hopefully I can get some exercise. I'd also like to get better at drinking water. I know I say this every single week, but I really am going to make a concerted effort to try and drink a bit more water this week. But other than that, I just want to keep doing my best. So I guess that's kind of my mantra moving forward, really. I am going to do a food diary this week, so I'm going to write everything down, and yeah, I'm just going to keep putting one foot in front of the other. So I guess what I want to say is, if anyone else is kind of feeling a little bit like me, struggling at all, or feeling a little bit disheartened that they're not seeing like big losses on the scales, where it seems like there are quite a few people on social media who are posting massive losses, and as I say, I am genuinely so chuffed with them, like for them. If I was having massive losses, I would be doing exactly the same. Don't you worry, I would be posting everywhere and screaming from the rooftops with happiness. But I think, you know, we need to also be chuffed with ourselves when we have those little losses too, because it all adds up. And, you know, before you know it, as I say, those little accumulative losses yeah, can kind of add up to be a big loss over the year. So yeah, that is my week. £1 off, 2 stone £2 loss to date, and for 12 stone 4.5 showing on the scales yesterday. And you know, this time last year I was like 14.5 stone. So yeah, I think this time last year I was like 14 stone 6.5 or something. So you know, I think what I did differently last year to previous times where I've tried Slimming World is I didn't give up. I just kept going. Even when I had like, you know, small losses, even when I had maintains, I didn't let it put me off. I just kept going, kept trucking. And I think I've got to continue that momentum this year. Like, yeah, just keep putting one foot in front of the other, follow the plan, and yeah, we will get there. So that is my week. How are you lovely lot getting on? How is your week going? Have you got any ideas for me about how I can perk up a bit in January? Because yeah, I'm just becoming a bit of a January misery, I think. Yeah, I just need some ideas about how to be a bit more upbeat. Yeah, in the latter part of January and February and March, until the sun comes out again. So any ideas about how to keep perky January, February, March, very gratefully received. But I would love to know how your weigh-ins have gone, if you've already weighed, how you getting on. I hope you're doing okay. If you haven't weighed yet, good luck. I really hope you do well when you get on the scales, and yeah, I hope you get the result that you're looking for. And you know, remember, we are all here to support each other through any parts of our journey. So if you need any support with anything and you think other people that are watching this or reading the comments might be able to help, comment below and yeah, and mention anything that you would like some support with. But yeah, let's all support each other to get to our goals and just keep trucking on. So I hope you have a fab week ahead, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you next time in my next video. Take care, bye.